by Riverside FM.
All right. We would like to welcome everyone here to the first official episode of the GarageCast. I am Chester, here with Muss and Jerome, and we are here to just bring you a little bit of entertainment if we can. This is a little pet project we've been working on for quite a while, and we finally got our stuff together and thought we'd give this a shot. And just figured we'd start sharing our ideas with everyone. So say hello, fellas.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
All right. First, just to start out, we are here in the beautiful garage of our very own Muss, enjoying this extremely hot weather, and we've got a little bit of baseball on the TV now, watching the Little League World Series. So if you hear any outbursts or interruptions, don't worry, it's just us berating a bunch of 12-year-olds. But with baseball on the TV, we're going to start off today by talking about one of my favorite topics, and I'm sure one of yours as well, fellas, and that's going to be the Chicago Cubs. And
great starting point.
I got to say, though, it's a bit concerning. Last time we had a conversation about the Cubs, I think we were feeling a little bit better than how we are now with how things are looking. They started off real hot, holding first place for quite a while, and then, I guess Milwaukee decided to play some baseball going into the All-Star break.
So, I don't even know what to say about the Cubs right now. At the middle of June, they were leading the division by 6.5 games.
Yeah.
We're sitting here today, going down to St. Louis to play the Cardinals here in about 45 minutes. We all know, even though the Cardinals aren't very good right now, we're going to be lucky to get out of St. Louis with 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, on the other hand, Milwaukee has won 46 of their last 60. They're playing ridiculous baseball.
See, and that's the number that is worrisome. I mean, this is now the second time they've hit a hot streak. What was it, 11 games in a row going into the break? And now
it's not even just a one little hot streak. You win 46 out of 60 games. I mean, that's incredible. Mm-hmm. So in that time, mid-June to now the Cubs sit 4 back.
Yeah.
It's a 10.5 game swing. And now there's less than 50 games left.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's got me worried. I mean, again, we were here a few months ago, right before meet day, talking about the Cubs, and we were just on cloud 9. And now it's like, are they looking like the Cubs of old, unable to bring it into the end of the season and get the job done?
Well, I'm going to tell you why I think the answer is no, they're not going to get the job done, even though I want them to. And one of the reasons, so those of you that can't see me out there, which is everybody except these other guys, put on my Jake Arrieta jersey today. And that's the reason I think they won't come back and claim this division. They don't have a Jake Arrieta on their team. Yeah, Matthew Boyd's been good. Yeah, Shota's been good. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go out there and give you 7 hitless, 8 shutout. They're not that guy. No. They don't have a John Lester who's going to go out there and, if he doesn't have it, still give you 6 scoreless. They don't have even a John Lackey who he wasn't that great by the time he got with the Cubs, but he emptied the tank every time out and gave you a chance to win. There's a lot of guys that on a team like the 16 Cubs that put them over the top that this team just doesn't have.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, you're every night you're kind of worried about who's going up. You don't have a lot of confidence every single time. You don't think somebody's going to go deep for you and really empty the tank. So it doesn't look good going into the last, quarter of the season or so, whatever it is.
No, and they built the lead they had because they were able to shut teams down with their bullpen from beginning of May to actually through June, honestly. And 2 months of shutdown baseball being pitched by their bullpen. Well, not having those horses in your rotation, losing to Justin Steele, losing to Jamison Tyone. And side note, why is a lat injury for everybody all of a sudden like a 3-month injury when back in the day it would be like maybe one start or maybe you just come out early the next start?
Yeah, you do some stretching, you take some ibuprofen, you're good to go.
Now all of a sudden, I mean, Amaya's been out forever, Assad's been out forever, J-Mo's a calf, but all of a sudden all these guys get a small injury and they're out for months.
Well, and you talked about pitching, and like that's the biggest problem. And I think everybody who was watching baseball, everyone who's especially following the Cubs, thought pitching was going to be an issue, and yet the trade deadline has come and gone, and no big moves were really made. And I'm not saying there was some magic bullet we should have gone out and gotten, but I mean, they basically did nothing. I mean, the pickups were there, but they didn't really make a move.
What they decided to do, and they solved half of the equation. they added to their bullpen. They added a lefty in Rogers, and they added Kittredge, the righty. So they got better in the bullpen. And they had to because they've abused the bullpen all year. But even if they get hot as an offense again, which is a big if, the current bullpen as it stands is going to burn out from now till the playoffs.
Yeah, and you can't you can't put all of your pressure on your bullpen. Your starters have to give you a solid. They got to give you a game, and they've got a couple people maybe can get that job done, but it's just not looking good. And I'm starting to get worried again. When again, 2 months ago we were here talking about winning the division, making a good run, and there was MVP talk for PCA, which I think could still be in the contention, but it's just it's scary as a fan.
Well, when we talk about the trade deadline, I agree it's a completely underwhelming effort by Jed Hoyer this year.
Yeah, he really earned that extension this year.
Yeah, well, lucky for him, they gave it before the deadline. But I'm not going to dwell so much on the missed pitchers. I'm going to choose to say, all right, we're Cubs fans. There's always next year. We are eternal optimists.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. They did do a couple good things. I already mentioned the bullpen. Willie Castro. I got to talk about this guy a little bit.
Please, yeah, do.
So this is a guy, first of all, he was on a one-year deal, so we got him for the rest of this year. Guy, 28 years old, super utility guy.
Oh.
I think he carries maybe 25 gloves, I heard, in his bag for different positions.
25?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Does he know there's only 9 spots on the field?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he uses a different glove when he's on the road. Who knows?
Okay.
But he is a super utility man, and he points out exactly how flawed this team was from the start of the season. Because that's the utility guy that we should have had on the team from day one instead of Vidal Brujan, who he should be playing in this Little League game we're watching. I think he might be the worst player. And John Birdie. These are guys that can't hold a Willie Castro's jockstrap.
Yeah.
He started 4 games for the Cubs since the deadline, all 4 in different positions. He's gotten a hit, I think, in almost every game. He runs the bases well. He plays every position competently. No, he doesn't. He's not PCA in center field when he plays there.
No.
But he's competent. You don't have to worry about him. And to me, if they're not – whatever happens this year, if they think they're in a window right now, which I think they are, since they didn't trade away any of their minor league talent, and they have it all stocked up and ready to go for next year, he is a key piece that they need to extend. This year he's on a $6.4 million deal. A guy like that, 28 years old, give him 4 years, give him $28 to $30 million to be your utility guy for the next 4 years, and he covers all your warts. When Kyle Tucker injures his little finger and all of a sudden can't hit anymore, or when PCA gets burnt out from playing every day, he can play all those spots. So that's something they need to get done, and I think they need to get it done before the end of the season.
Yeah, but does he have 4 years? That's the fear that I have now with baseball is that it's a business, obviously, and the way things are moving, you produce or you're gone, or you produce or you're sent down. I don't know that he has the time if he doesn't put up the numbers, to be honest.
Well, he was an all-star last year. He's hitting better than probably everybody on the team for average, except for probably Nico and maybe Michael Bush.
So you brought up Kyle Tucker just now, and that's a big topic right now. If you're talking to any Cubs fans, he's done at the end of the year. People are talking about an extension, but it's going to cost a lot.
It's going down.
Based on performance,
price is going down.
Stock's dropping.
And I guess that's the question now. Is to ask. Is that somebody we keep? Is Kyle Tucker worth the money we're going to have to spend to get him on an extension?
I think the answer to that question lies in not what you think of Owen Casey. I think the answer to that question lies in what you think of Kevin Alcantara. Because to me, if you think Alcantara is no good or not going to be the guy, then you extend Tucker, and your future outfield is Tucker, PCA, and Owen Casey.
Yeah.
And I make a motion to make that the outfield right now, because it's just gonna give you some side-by-side comparison this year. I know it's major league compared to minor league.
Sure.
But Ian Happ versus Owen Casey this season.
Oh, I was hoping you'd go there.
Ian Happ, 405 at-bats. 230 average, which I think if you look at the back of his baseball card, it's going to say about 230 for his career.
Sure.
16 home runs, 54 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 720 OPS. Owen Casey. Granted, Ian Happ's a switch hitter, so that provides some value. He walks a lot. When your main attribute is walking a lot, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's when you got a problem as a hitter.
Owen Casey, 327 at-bats, so significantly fewer at-bats. But he's playing a minor league schedule, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
281 average versus Ian Happ's 230. 20 home runs versus Ian Happ's 16. 47 RBIs. Ian's got him there with 54. But keep in mind, Owen Casey's playing with a bunch of AAA guys that can't get on base in front of him.
Right.
3 stolen bases to 5. That's a wash. 938 OPS compared to Ian's 720. So that tells me right there, if Owen's average is only 50 points higher and his OPS is 218 points higher, that means he's walking at a higher rate than Ian Happ is as well. So he does literally everything better.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
And we're just letting him do it down in the minor leagues. You know, if you're in a window, they moved Ian Happ down in the order. Great. Okay, well, maybe it's time to put him on the bench for a little bit and let somebody else come up and see if they can spark this offense, because 1-2 runs a night with 2 or 3 hits is not going to cut it if you're trying to chase down the Brewers.
Well, and that's the thing. You look at it now. We're hitting that part of the season where every game matters. You talked about, the upcoming schedule. It's not the worst-looking schedule, but it's definitely not great. We're heading to St. Louis now. We've got Toronto. We got to go to Toronto then after that for the 12th through the 14th. They're not a bad team.
They're in first place.
Toronto's a great team. I was looking at scores the other night, and granted, it's the Colorado Rockies, which, again, talk about somebody who should be playing in this Little League tournament. They beat the Rockies 20-1. I don't care how bad your opponent is. You score 20 runs in a baseball game, you're not messing around.
No, sad.
So you're dealing with the Cardinals, you're dealing with the Blue Jays, you got the Pirates at home, and then you've got this 5-game stretch with the Brewers. 5 games.
Starting August 18th.
August 18th. 5 games at home against the Brewers. If we have any thought at all about being serious, we got to get at least 4 of those games. And
well, I think it depends where we sit going into that series. So what I'm thinking is, so we got 10 days before then.
yeah,
With the grace of the baseball gods, the Brewers will lose a couple before then. Not looking very likely. We need to be within 2 games when that series starts.
I agree.
And that way, if you go 2-3, 3-2, whatever, I don't think you can expect to sweep a 5-game series.
No.
4-1 would be excellent. But if you're more than 2 games out, you risk being out of the race altogether by the end of that series.
Well, and
one of them's a doubleheader, so you probably best you can expect is to
split the doubleheader. Yeah, and you talk about schedules. Comparatively now, we're going to St. Louis tonight. Brewers are at home for 3 games with the Mets. Mets are no pushover, so maybe you get a couple losses there. But then
we need the polar bear to hit some home runs.
Yeah, and then they're at home against the Pirates. Then they've got 3 in Cincinnati. I'm sorry, that's just not going to be trouble for them.
Well, yes and no. Cincinnati is making a move right now.
Okay.
I'm not just saying that because they just beat the Cubs. Going into that series, I think they were 6.5 out of the wild card after a horrendous start to the year. They made some very good acquisitions at the acquisitions. Words are hard. They made those at the trade deadline. They got this Andujar guy from Oakland. They just this is something the Cubs could have done.
Right.
Go drop a 300 hitter right in the middle of your lineup, and it didn't cost them that much. So they made acquisitions like that. Got it right that time. To bolster their lineup, so they're decent and they have a pretty good pitching staff. And when you talk about Pittsburgh, I think every team, and I think it's proven true this year as I've seen them play, that plays Pittsburgh has troubles, because if you're playing Pittsburgh and you score 2 runs, 3 runs, you're probably going to win.
That's a good way to win a game.
They have in Pittsburgh an extraordinary pitching staff.
Yeah.
So getting those 2 to 3 runs, you don't have to worry so much about Pittsburgh scoring on you.
No.
But you also have to worry pretty hard about scoring on Pittsburgh.
And that's the difference there. Pittsburgh has, like you just said, they've got a great pitching staff. They have faith in defending their offense. And you look at, again, not that the Cubs pitchers are bad, but it's reminiscent of the old days when you're calling to the bullpen, you never know what's going to happen. And you talked earlier about, the starting rotation. You looked at Matthew Boyd had one of the best looking stats going in, and then he had one game when he gave up like 8 runs or something. That's going to hurt his ERA. But I think he's still a reliable start. He's still a reliable guy. I mean, the staff isn't, again, it's like you said, it's not atrocious.
The thing that worries me about Matthew Boyd, though, is fresh off Tommy John.
Yeah.
I think he pitched 6 innings last year. Pretty hard to say, okay, now you're going to pitch 175 regular season plus a postseason, and keep being as good as he has. I mean, this is a guy that's in the Cy Young conversation.
Totally.
He's going to get votes.
Yeah.
But the key is he's got to stay healthy. The one thing the Cubs have going for them is down the stretch. They have both, if Assad, I'm not counting on Assad so much because he hasn't pitched all year. Maybe he'll come in and provide a little spark out of the pen. But you got Jameson Taillon and Shota Imanaga, who both missed significant time.
Yeah.
So right now, for Shota, it doesn't feel like August 8th. It feels probably like June 20th.
Yeah, and he's got to figure out a way to get that mentality back to, hey, we're getting into fall baseball. You got to be ready to make some big moves. It's funny, you guys. Again, talking about Boyd. I'm not sure if you guys know this. I actually have a really strong connection to Matthew Boyd.
It's your brother,
I was
right?
talking to him the other day, thinking we might be able to get him on the podcast, which would be huge starting early on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just put that in our back pocket. We may deal with that.
I'd
for
be
later.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Take Matt Boyd on here anytime.
A slight sidestep here. Of course, within the last couple of weeks, can't talk about the Cubs without talking about the late great Ryan Sandberg.
Love to.
R.I.P.
Just a quick mention here. He one of the best to ever do it. Personally for me, I remember growing up towards the end of his career. Ryan Sandberg I remember being one of my first ever favorite player, and watching him play was just amazing. So just a real sad thing to hear, especially given that he had seemed to be making a turnaround, and having his cancer come back like that, it's just a really sad day. So obviously sad to hear, but one of the great players, obviously easy Hall of Famer, and that he deserved it more than most. But
and the way he played was ahead of the times.
yeah,
That he learned to go from an average hitter hitting the ball the other way to combining power and some launch angle and getting out ahead of it and pulling home runs into the left field bleachers at Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
His streak of Gold Gloves. You don't see that anymore.
No, I mean the hardware this guy had is unspeakable. I mean, and it's like you said, you talk about playing for the love of the game. I mean, this is a guy who
If anybody is listening to this or ever does listen to this, go back and listen to Rhino's Hall of Fame speech. He's exemplifies what old school baseball is in his speech about how you play for the respect of the game. You hit that big home run, you don't toss your bat, you don't scream into the dugout, you put your head down and trot around the bases.
Yeah.
That's something that really resonates with me. It's not a game. Baseball is the ultimate team game, played by individuals that only one of you can do anything at one point in time, but it takes all of you to do it with the collective goal in mind, and he exemplified that incredibly. I just think it's incredible, and he's one of the only guys I have ever seen actually wear the gargoyle flip down sunglasses. Which I just want to say, I had a pair, I still have the pair. Sitting in my baseball bag in the house now in case I ever need to play again. And Rhino's the reason I have those because he made them look so freaking cool.
I mean, you talk about pure 90s energy coming off of that guy with the flip down shades. I mean, nobody does it better, But yeah, so I mean, sad to hear. One of the great players, but obviously, never be forgotten. Very, very few players that have a game named after them. Ryan Sandberg being one of them.
Yep.
And
Before we move off the Cubs, I wanna make one more point to give both of you and any Cub fan out there listening some optimism for this year.
Please do.
From this point on, this year, the Cubs have the third easiest schedule remaining.
Okay.
And the Brewers have the 17th easiest schedule remaining. So, you never want to be in a position where you're counting on other teams to do your dirty work for you. But there's a chance.
Again, it's out there.
There's a chance there. What it comes down to is just take care of your own business and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Before moving on, I think we would definitely be amiss to talk about one of our non-sponsors of the podcast, of course. For anyone out there listening, of course, this podcast, we'd like to say, is proudly not brought to you by Alp nicotine pouches. A big fan favorite here over at the garage. But, if you're looking for something to get a little buzz and enjoy your day, make the work go by easier, definitely would check out alppouch.com. Personally, I enjoy it. I know you gentlemen are also a fan. But just thought we'd share a message here. Not a sponsor of the podcast, unfortunately, but still something we like to share. Not a sponsor. Alp nicotine pouches, alppouch.com. So, yeah.
Not a sponsor, but we are powered by Alp.
Oh, of
we
course.
Really are.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't make it here today without my Alps. But I know that there's everyone out there who's hopping on the Zyn train and taking their trips to
Get
Zimbabwe.
off of it.
It's just not. It's not worth it. Far superior product. I mean, come on. The Swiss Alps are way better than Zimbabwe. So, alppouch.com. Everybody go ahead and check it out. Still talking about baseball here really quick. I saw a story the other day. I think you guys will get a kick out of this. There is a amateur, professional, semi-pro, whatever team out of Portland. They are the Portland Pickles. And I don't know if you guys have heard this story. Apparently they do a thing. It's their fan appreciation day or night or whatever, where one lucky fan gets chosen to come play the game with the team. And the other day, they had...
How do I sign up?
I don't know. Unfortunately, I think step one means traveling to Portland.
Nope.
Yeah, that does
And
suck.
that,
Can't do that.
that's unfortunate. But I saw a video about this the other day. I thought it was really awesome. We're sharing. This kid, maybe early to mid-20s, young kid, was there watching the game, gets chosen to come play with the team. First at bat, nothing special. I mean, I think maybe he walked or got out. I wasn't really paying attention to that first one because this is the one that matters, where his second at bat, and he's hamming it up, loving the time. Does the Babe Ruth with the bat, Hamilton Porter calling the shot, loving it all. And the dude hits a 2-run dinger over the left field fence.
Yeah.
Everybody goes wild. And I'm just thinking, that is awesome. And
This is a Wood Bat League?
No. Well, maybe it would. I
Either
think
way.
So. Either way.
I'm
I mean,
assuming
these are
regulation-sized park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a legitimate
That's
park.
incredible.
I think it's similar to like some of the minor league teams, like the Joliet Slammers, things like that. It's like a semi-pro, amateur, whatever
That's
kind
legit.
of team. Such a cool story. I mean, and of course, everyone loses their mind. This is a kid out of the stands just making this other team look silly. Just an awesome thing to see.
Love it.
One other thing I saw, and this is something that I think would be really awesome to get involved in. This was a team, I want to say, somewhere in Southern California, and they're doing a special game where I think they're just calling it the Nothing Game. There's going to be no music, no announcers, no extras. It's just baseball. You show up, you watch the game, there, no extras. And I know some people may, that's going to be boring. Yeah, I'm like, you're not a fan of baseball, so just stop. That sounds like one of the coolest experiences they could have.
It's actually kind of incredible that California came up with that.
Well, I mean, listen, nobody was more surprised. The minute I saw the story about it, I looked up to where they were, and I thought, well, as great as that is, it's probably not still worth a trip to California. But,
no, definitely not.
I again, just seeing these things, it's neat to think of all these people who, you have all these new rules coming in with the MLB with the pitch clocks and the reviewing plays and extra innings guys starting on second base. So they're doing all these things to try to speed up the game of baseball and make it more appealing to people who aren't fans of the game. And in my opinion, at least, I think it hurts. I think it's not part of the game. I think it's makes things way too different than they should be. But that is an awesome thing to see. There are people out there who still just appreciate a good day at the ballpark, getting to watch a game of baseball just for what it is. Again, whether it's worth a trip to California, that yet to be seen. But I hope other people maybe pick that up. I think it'd be awesome to go to, to see maybe a professional team do that once a year. I think that'd be great.
It would be funny. So, talking about odd things in baseball, have you heard about the Savannah Bananas?
They're coming to White Sox Park here in a couple weeks.
So what's the deal with the bananas?
So
I saw a guy on stilts one time. It was nuts.
From what I understand, and I've done it's a completely different league. It's obviously not baseball. They're
not playing the pickles?
They're not playing. I think it's a completely different thing. From what I understand, hey, if they're open for it. From what I understand, it's essentially like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Okay.
They've got their own rules. They've got their own I looked into a little bit. One of the cool things is like, let's say, one of the coolest things about going to a baseball game, you're catching a foul ball. Right?
I love this.
Yes. If somebody hits a foul ball into the stands and the fan catches it, batter's out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And their whole scoring system is different. It's not based on like total runs. It's number of innings won.
Okay.
So first inning, after the first inning scores 3-1, that team wins that inning.
Okay.
Keeps going. Let's say the next one, it's 5-0. Well, that team doesn't have 6 runs now. They just won the second inning. So it's a whole new thing. They've got a bunch of different rules. And of course, you've seen all the videos. They got the songs, the dancing. Huge, huge charity implications on these things. They do so much for any charity places they go to.
So I was actually heard this today. Like I said before, they're coming to White Sox Park here in a couple weeks, and you can't just go on SavannahBananas.com for it or WhiteSox.com and buy the ticket.
No,
you have to enter a raffle.
Yeah,
in like a year in advance.
Yeah, they
for
are
the
sold
tickets.
out
And
so far ahead.
They're sold out, and the secondary market for like the 300 section in the lower bowl at Sox Park, resale ticket. $440. It's not like you could go to a White Sox game for like $15.
You could get like just the greatest seat ever at that field for a Sox game and not spend like a tenth of that. It's insane.
Well,
yeah, but then you're watching the Sox.
Yeah, well, that's
the difference.
that's
a product you want to watch
versus
a product you don't want to watch.
Yeah, but no, the stuff that they're doing is awesome. It's so fun to watch. It's cool to see that they're playing in major league parks. It's cool to see that ESPN is.
They're selling out football stadiums.
Yeah. Well, they played a college stadium.
Yeah, they sell every place they go. They sell out. It's incredible.
Yeah. And it's cool to see like ESPN getting on board and broadcasting. I mean, it's stuff that it's
fun. Not just the Ocho.
No, we're not. No, thankfully, as everyone knows,
the Ocho.
You can still catch your dodgeball on the Ocho.
Dodgeball. You can also catch arrow tag on the Ocho.
I do not.
That sounds more like the most dangerous game.
That sounds like murder.
I mean, it was kind of like a mix between paintball and shooting each other with arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, well, not real arrows.
Okay.
Okay.
They were blunted.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So is all of the paint red? Because that's not paint.
They were blunted, but you
Okay.
kind of hope they weren't.
That's damn. All right. I mean, so it's okay. So also the Ocho is thriving. That's good to hear. Gotta love that. Yeah. All the thing that's not really a sport. So. Yeah, let's see. Gosh, what's the other thing I saw the other day? Not really baseball related, but we three of us at least. I'm sure anybody who may or may not be listening to this, we're all fans of the game of golf. I mean, we do our best when we get out there. Some of us do better than others because we probably have strength from that salmon we keep in our golf bag.
I like golf.
Yeah, you do.
You also like salmon.
It's weird. It's weird, Jerome.
Eat all my food cold.
They have hot dogs at the golf course. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I need my proteins.
Yeah, okay.
Get the all beef, Frank.
Last time I ate multiple hot dogs on a course, it didn't end well for me.
Nobody said you had to eat multiple.
You could just have
one.
The one at the turn, like
Why would
everybody
I have one
else.
when I can have 4?
You could just get a brat.
Yeah.
That's like
It
2
was
hot
2
dogs
and 2,
almost. They're a little
actually. It was
thicker.
2
Jerome,
hot dogs and 2 brats.
I mean, just a quick for someone who eats as much as you do, the fact that you don't look like me pisses me off. I just want you to know that.
I think about that a lot, actually. I eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
I start my day off usually with 5 eggs, and then I just eat until I can't.
Bullshit, dude. The other day when you were staying the night here, you started your day off with like 17 eggs.
Well, that's
You
because
ate
they were
the rest
presented
of
to
the
me.
eggs. Jesus, buddy.
And thank you, by the way. That was magical. I loved every second of it. Just sensational. From the Mussman home.
Anyway, going back to golf. So I saw a video the other day of this golf course, which they claim to be the world's largest golf course, which, of course, you're a little skeptical. You think there's a lot of big mega courses out there. You got some 700-800 yard par 7s or whatever out there. Well, they took a different approach here. This is located down under in Australia.
Sounds right.
And this is an 850-mile golf course that is stretched across the Australian outback.
Oh, my God.
And instead of having mega holes, it's just these artificial greens put in, artificial turf and all this stuff. You play your hole, and then you get in your car, and you got to drive about 30 or 40 miles to all these holes located in these specialty locations around the outback.
Wait, go ahead.
Before you get upset, each one having its own roadhouse and bar where you go, you get your scorecard stamped like a little passport. They give you food and drinks and whatnot. And
so it's like the golf version of riding the rail.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you think of those things you see around towns with, each little bar puts up a mini putt hole and you drive from bar to bar and whatnot.
So you can't claim that your course is that long, though. Because the course length is the playable distance that you hit the ball.
I agree. I just think it's a neat idea. They're spread out over the entire outback.
And you know what? Australia, maybe behind the times of the United States, they're encouraging drunk driving. So maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't know. I'm not going to judge.
I got to tell you.
But I don't think there's a lot of people out there around that course. So if you're going to do something stupid, you're going to hurt yourself.
Well, and I don't know what the drunk driving laws are in Australia. I mean, probably similar to ours, but who knows? They are a penal colony. I mean,
never been. Need too many days off work to go there.
Yeah, that's way too far of a trip.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit on a
But,
plane.
I mean, you got to think about it,
to
though.
get there.
This is out in the wilderness. You're going to be dealing with wildlife. You're going to have, what do they got? Like wombats.
They've got some
kangaroos.
crazy stuff over there.
I mean, basically every animal in Australia is trying to kill you.
And the freaking spiders, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spiders are like the size of
one thing I don't think
child.
many people... There is a time of year in Australia that is referred to as swooping season.
That doesn't sound nice.
It's not, because what it is there are birds, and I believe they're magpies is the type of bird. There are birds in Australia who every year after they've mated, they have their nests established. They see anything that comes within what they consider their territory a threat, and will dive bomb you if you are just walking past their area to get to work or get to your house, and so you've got to run. I've seen videos of these people wearing motorcycle helmets just to walk out their front door to go to work.
So that's Australia's version of the Canadian goose.
Yeah, which fuck Canadian gooses, by the way.
Geese.
No, they don't deserve proper grammar. I hate those things with a fiery passion.
Sounds like the magpies are leaving their cream pies.
Oh, on your head.
You knew I had to say that.
I mean, if you're gonna say something.
I gotta jump topics real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we've jumped from the Little League World Series or the regional play to get to the Little League World Series to the Cubs Cardinals game.
Love it.
Unfortunately, it's on MLB TV and not Marquee Network, but we do what we got to do. And I noticed they've got Yadier Molina. He's retired.
He don't play no more.
Cardinals legend, probably Hall of Famer. I'd vote for him.
Yeah.
Great player. He's in full uniform in the dugout. And what I want to know is, if you guys were the manager of the Cardinals, a poor team,
Yeah.
even without Yachty in the dugout, you got to be kind of worried about your job. But now the Cardinals want to bring Yadier Molina into your dugout in uniform for all the fans to see and all the players to gravitate towards. How are you feeling?
I mean, not great. I mean, everything you said about him is 100% true. The fact that I hate Yadier Molina with a fiery passion,
Burning passion.
shows what a great player he was. I saw this
100%.
incredible stat. The number of steals in the league has gone up dramatically since his retirement. And I can't say, I mean, there's no way those two things are unrelated. I mean, the guy was a cannon behind the plate, hell of a ball player.
Well, people didn't even try to steal on him.
No.
He didn't even try.
No, because, well, you try once.
They'd give us percentages, and you'd see the rest of the league. They'd be like, he caught 10 out of 106, and then Yachty'd be like, he caught 10 of 12.
Yeah.
For for a season.
Absolutely. No, I mean, but going back to your question, yeah, if I'm the coach, I'm pretty worried. You know, I think, you know, the guy obviously knows baseball. If he's still looking to be involved, you know,
Well, I'm betting. I don't know his contract status, Ali Marmol's, but I would be thinking that if he's got more years left on his deal, he really doesn't care because maybe he's hoping they do fire him and bring Yachty in, and he just gets paid to go to paradise.
Well, and maybe they're looking just for a transition. Again, I don't know what he's doing in there. I don't know if because he's not officially on their coaching staff, is he? I mean,
no,
he's
this is just a commemorative weekend. I think he probably got some Cardinals award or something this weekend, but you got to think everybody in that town, as awful of a town as it is wanting Yachty to be their manager.
God, and we already have 2 outs.
And here's the deal, you know, the Cardinals, like you said, you know, they're struggling. I mean, nothing makes me happier, you know, but they're not having a year that they're used to. They're usually a pretty consistently good ball club. This could be something they're going to try to do to bring eyes back onto the ball club, put fans back in the seats. I mean, you know, granted, I don't think attendance is a problem that they necessarily have as much as I hate them. Cardinal fans are also relatively loyal.
Attendance was a problem earlier this year.
Yeah.
They had the fans were so displeased with the front office and not making moves to make the team better to start the season that Miles Michaelis, who screw that guy. But anyways, I think he's actually on his way out so they can bring up some new prospects. He sent something out on social media pleading with Cardinals fans to come to the games against the Cubs to boo the Cubs, and they still couldn't sell out the game.
Really?
They didn't even sell out the first Cubs-Cardinal series.
In St. Louis?
At Busch, no.
Wow. See, that's incredible. Because usually, I mean, if there's one thing, being a little biased here, one thing we can say about the Cubs travel well. And, you know, no issue for a good group of Cubs fans to show up in St. Louis. And so that's really hard for them. If you're looking at, you know, you talk about Miller Park being Wrigley Field North. I mean, you're looking at trouble. If you can easily out-attend. If the Cardinals fans aren't showing up, it's pretty
Hell
easy.
yeah, Tuck's back, baby. Tuck's back.
It's going to be pretty easy for the Cub fans to get pretty loud in St. Louis. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's some empty sections there.
Huh? That's the way you make changes, though, as a fan. You don't spend your money.
Well, yeah, you got to let them know.
With your wallet, and maybe they'll realize.
I haven't been to a Cubs game since 2016, but until this year, and we already talked about them for this year, all the years between 16 and now, they haven't been that good.
Well, they haven't been doing it.
And their prices are too high to go to games.
Well, that's it. And, you know, you got all that issue. You got all the crazy taxes and prices going up in Chicago on its own, too. But, yeah, well, good to see Tuck getting a base hit.
$20 to get half walks.
Well, that's...
Wait. All right, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Which is more expensive?
Oh, God.
Going to a White Sox game?
Okay.
Or parking for a Cubs game?
Wow.
Do you include the ambulance trip to the hospital after you get shot at a White Sox game? Or
like, not even like on the way into the White Sox game, like literally in the game.
So here's my question. Where are you parking? Because that matters.
Yeah.
All right, let me do this. White Sox tickets, over under $19.50.
Oh, under.
Okay, so
I guess
you answered your own question.
If you find a right spot, you can get some good parking at Wrigley for $20. But if you're not messing around, you just go over to Bernie's, you go over to Murphy's, you get $40 in their lot, and you're good to go.
True.
But yeah, that's oh my God, yeah, that's not false. That's rough to look at. Oh man, let's see here. Moving on. Have you guys been? I don't know how much you're paying attention to what's going on in the world lately. Obviously, there's been a bit of a die-down with some of the drama in this country, at least on our end. And I don't know about you guys. It's partially because things are going well, at least in my opinion. If you look at everything going on, everyone's got something to yell about. And, you know, with all of these issues going on with, President Trump and people just being angry at him for absolutely no reason. One of my favorite things that I saw lately. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the lovely Miss Sydney Sweeney. Have you familiar? Have you heard the name?
I've heard the name.
I don't know who that is.
I'm not quite sure about her though.
Okay, well, Sydney Sweeney's an actress. She was in one of those HBO shows that I can't remember. She's done a lot, done some movies, some rom-coms and stuff. Very, very fetching young lady, in my opinion. And recently, she was put into an ad for American Eagle to be their new jeans model. Okay?
Well, that's going to make people want to buy American Eagle.
Right.
Canadian tuxedo.
Gotta love it, right? So, there are so many people, and I will let everyone here speculate as to their political leanings, who have lost their minds over this jeans ad. And you give them a little bit of credit. I think it's funny. I think it's a great marketing move. I don't know very much about marketing, but the ad basically, there's a couple different ones. One of them's got her obviously not really. Although I don't know. Maybe I don't know much. Maybe she knows about cars. But she's got the hood open on a Mustang doing stuff, and she closes the hood and gets it. The camera shows her walking by, and all it says is, "Sydney Sweeney's got great jeans." Of course, spelled Jeans because it's a jean.
She's wearing the jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this other ad talks about how jeans are passed down from generations, and
sounds like a Wrangler commercial.
Well, you would think so, yeah. and she ends it with, "My jeans are blue." Well, everyone is out there now who are talking about how this American Eagle jeans ad with a beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is Nazi propaganda. It is eugenics. It is promoting the white race of her, quote-unquote, good genes.
Because she said her jeans are blue?
Well, because she talked, making the joke, the double entendre between genetics and her, being a white person and blue jeans, and it's the same word. And of course, it's a racist dog whistle to promote the white race over other people. And of course, that's what's going on now.
Well, the little I know about this is that she's been a registered Republican since 2024.
Found out about that, yes.
In this great, great state of Florida. I wish our state, the poor, poor state of Illinois, would try to mirror what Florida's doing. But, over the years, Republicans make ads, Democrats make ads, athletes make ads, actors make ads.
Well, that's it.
And almost all of them, or a high percentage, I won't say almost all, but a good percentage, have some sort of, you could tie in politically to it somehow, if you want to.
And this is it.
And I just don't see why, okay, this woman wants to make an ad. She got a sponsor. Good for her.
Great for her.
She's making money off of that. And why are we trying to poo-poo that? Let her make her money. If you don't want, it goes back to what you said, Jerome, about sports tickets. You don't want to spend the money on it? You don't like the product? Don't spend your money on it.
Exactly. And I think, what? It's funny you bring that up because you talk about these, but what you're talking about is basically boycotting companies. And we've seen a lot of that over the past couple of years. I mean, you go all the way back to, what was it, 2, 3, 4 years ago, the whole Bud Light debacle.
Ooh, Bud Light.
I mean, before we get into that, I think it's funny. And, you guys can agree, disagree, and back me up here. We used to be pretty heavy Bud Light drinkers. We used to have some Bud Lights here and there, right?
Couple.
That used to be it. And
I've had a Bud Light before.
yeah,
Unfortunately, no.
not since.
Not since.
And I tell you, it's funny, bring it up. Obviously, of course, now we stick to the silver bullets there of Coors Light, that lovely sound you just heard. Another non-sponsor of the GarageCast, for those listening, it's happy to say that while it's not financially brought to you by Coors Light, we are, of course, powered by Coors Light the same way we are Alp Nicotine Pouches, another not sponsor. But, you see a lot of these you saw it with Bud Light a few years ago. You saw it with Target a few years ago. All of these companies doing all these things that, instead of getting angry and yelling racism and calling them an evil company, and that, just don't shop there. It's not hard.
100% agree.
The dollar goes far, and if enough of you just don't, who's going to care? The other thing I think is hilarious is they make a big deal out of this when, God, what is it? Who's the other jean? Not Wrangler. You're talking about who's the other jean? Levi's. Levi Jeans has had Beyonce as one of their spokespeople, one of their spokespersons, whatever, for the past few years. And they tried to put out a similar ad with, Beyonce. And here's the thing, sex sells.
100%.
It's not new.
Always has,
it's
always
not
will.
new. It's the same shit over and over again. And I'm sorry. You're going to talk about this issue with Sydney Sweeney and her supposed genetic message where you've got an ad with Beyonce. And I'm not saying anything against Beyonce. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of hers, but she's very successful. I'm not going to argue with that. But I think what you said is right. If this is going to be an issue, you don't shop there.
Would you rather go to a Beyonce concert that you have to pay for,
I know where you're going.
or lose your job?
I can't answer that.
Can I keep working in my field? I
You know
can get a new job.
Okay,
I can get a new job.
Your hesitation, you don't have to answer the question.
I can get a new job doing what I do. I'm just saying. It's not like I'm barred from doing what I do anywhere.
I don't know. I love my job.
I love my job too, and I think the answer to my question is this: I cannot stand Beyonce's music.
No, here's the thing. Forget her music. I can't stand Beyonce's fans. They are right up there, almost to the level of obsession with Taylor Swift fans.
Ugh.
And here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. I enjoy it.
You're a Swiftie.
I'm not a Swiftie.
You're a Swiftie.
There's no way in hell.
You're a Swiftie.
All right.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the work. She's obviously, again, incredibly successful. Puts on a hell of a show, I'm sure. But the fan base of these
What do you
people
think
is,
when you think Tim McGraw?
Oh, God, I think my favorite song.
Personally, the issue that I have right now with Beyonce is she's not a country singer, and
That
she's trying
don't-
so hard
See,
to take over country, not even just break in and be like, "Hey, I'm here too." She's trying to take it over, and she's winning all these awards.
And it's
at
bullshit.
Award shows, and it's just not.
It's bullshit
right.
because
it's just not.
Dude, she comes in here thinking. I literally saw something the other day. Some sort of maybe it's Facebook, so take it with a grain of salt. Some sort of quote about, "Oh, I'm the new queen of country music." Like, bitch, no. You're none of your music's even country.
No.
And again, it's like you said. She comes in thinking that she's automatically going to be the best. She deserves to be treated like she's the best. I heard from somewhere a story, from a few months back, that she reached out to the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville and requested to do a show there.
That's not how that works.
You don't do that.
That's not how that works.
They call you one of the most historic institutions in country music. You don't get to just assume you're good enough to play there.
Nope.
If you want to talk about someone who making a switch, and I get it, you want to start making country music, do it. But don't think that just because you're now doing this that you're the best there is. You talk about somebody who made a slight switch into country music and did it the right way. You got to talk about Post Malone.
Post Malone.
I mean, I knew very little about Post Malone before he started making that kind of music. I just, I knew who he was. I knew he was a rapper.
I did not like his rap music.
No,
I love his country music.
I never knew much about him. I never really listened to any of his music. And then I remember we were somewhere listening to music, and somebody told me, "Oh yeah, that's Post Malone." I said, "Are you kidding me? This is a great song."
Why
he didn't make a big deal out of it.
Why does that dude sound though like he is a human version of auto-tune?
Some people are just blessed, man.
I mean, the difference with Post, though, is he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't try to be the best. He doesn't come in saying he is amazing and deserves all these awards.
Yeah.
And he's just a good dude, too. Like,
Well, that's
he
it.
seems like a nice guy all around.
He just seems like a fun dude. He seems to enjoy what he's doing and have fun while he's doing it. We were watching that Happy Gilmore sequel the other night, and he's got a small little cameo in that. He looks hilarious. Dressed up like basically like bedazzled suit with this ridiculous cowboy hat and massive sunglasses that he wears. I mean, he just looks like a guy who's having fun.
He's having a lot of fun.
And
Happy Gilmore 2, what are our thoughts on that? I don't mean to segue away.
No,
but I think that's a pretty good thing to talk about right
I
now.
love that.
Well, I'll say this about Happy Gilmore too. When you talk sequels, there's a really good opportunity in any sequel to shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did the Happy Gilmore 2 sequel 100% correct.
Yeah.
They didn't try to really expand too much on any storylines. They didn't try to make it too serious. They made it even more goofy and silly than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, let's just throw everything at this.
Yeah.
Let's almost make it like a comedy show.
Yeah.
And, we're going to throw, 70-something cameos into this thing?
It was
Like,
insane.
I don't.
you could tell when they made that movie, they did not take it seriously.
No, and I think
And
the
I
best-
loved it.
You can look at it like they sitting around writing. He's like, well, what if this person was in it? Well, what if this person? And nobody said no. They probably came up with a list of 100 people, thinking half of them are going to say, you know what? No,
Everybody said yes.
Eminem
Yeah.
was in it.
And
Eminem's got a
great.
cameo.
Apparently,
in the
there's
movie.
an hour of outtakes with Eminem that are fantastic.
I find that incredibly easy to believe. No,
I don't know what a Bad Bunny is,
neither do I.
but apparently there's a Bad Bunny in that movie.
I had to look that up. I remember we were sitting there watching it, and I'm scrolling through IMDb, looking at this cast, because I'm like, who is this? Who is this guy? And it just says Bad Bunny, and I turned to I said, what's Bad Bunny? And she knew just about as much as I did. I had to look that up, but the guy had it was great. And again, you have to look at it through a couple of different lenses. Number one being as a sequel to Happy Gilmore, which is, I think, one of Adam Sandler's best movies.
100%.
As a sequel to Happy Gilmore, it was great. It was like you said, they didn't try to do too much. They didn't try to overthink it. They get into it. There you go. All right.
Oh, he's slow. He's a catcher. It's only a single.
All right. Yeah, you look at it as a sequel to what it is. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Now, is it a good movie on its own? No. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But is it Adam Sandler's worst movie? Absolutely not.
Not even close.
I mean, not even close. So I mean, listen, it's one of those movies, and if you know what you're getting into, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna enjoy it. I thought it was great. I loved it. It was a great time.
Exactly. I'm kind of confused why people hate it. I mean, if maybe they wanted an expansion on the story, maybe they wanted a deep dive into what Happy Gilmore's life is now.
Yeah, but
But
nobody
it's
cares.
just nobody
cares
cares.
about that.
It's a sequel. Let's have fun with it, and that's exactly what they did. They
Yeah,
spent
well,
a lot of money, got a lot of cameos, like you said.
the
and it's
people
good.
the people that hate it probably also hate Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? That's a circle. They're all both in there. Yeah. Again. Oh.
And for me, I love John Daly, so watching John Daly
yeah,
for
hilarious.
John
couple
Daly's
hours.
the king, man.
How about
Oh my
Zalatoris being the
Looks just like him.
Oh,
I
he
didn't
does.
realize that I thought they went back and they got the same actor from before.
I had no
Oh,
idea.
I didn't and then I saw something after we watched this and said, oh my god, that's Will Zalatoris.
They got
That's
Slick Willy for that one.
hilarious.
We're going through that scene in the locker room at the course, and as they go to each player that he interacts with, I'm like, that's so and so, so and so, and then it gets
Yeah.
to him, I'm like, that's just the guy from the.
Exactly what I thought. I thought all the pro golfer cameos were hilarious. My favorite part of the entire movie was Scotty Scheffler. When he at the end when he punches that dude and the cops, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
not again.
Yeah.
And they keep cutting to him in the jail cell. I'm like, that's just
That and when they make fun of Rory's boobies.
yeah.
Bryson saying,
Those
"Those
are
are my
my
titties."
My titties.
Bryson posted something the other day on Instagram about how he misses
I miss
Rory's
my-
tit. He's becoming very quickly my favorite golfer.
Yeah.
Maybe
Bryson?
of all time.
Bryson,
Just
yeah.
because of he
His
does so
social,
much on YouTube. He's such a good personality. He's totally changed his entire personality and demeanor from what it was before. He's just-
And he hits
a good
freaking
dude.
nukes.
Well, there's
He
that. I
does.
mean, that's always. I think it's so cool with. It's crazy to think. One of the good things about all of this like social media nowadays, is you get these guys who, and maybe it's a new age, maybe it's a new new generation, or whatever. But these guys are just having fun, and you can
Oh, yeah.
tell. I mean, maybe everyone else was before. I'm sure you were. You get to play golf for a living, but
No, they weren't having fun before because Tiger was kicking their freaking ass.
well, yeah.
True.
I mean that's true.
Well, that's the beauty of like YouTube and everything now, like social media, like you said. We can actually see what their personalities are.
Yeah.
Because before you would just see them on tour playing on, ESPN or whatever, playing
Yeah.
a John Deere Classic.
No, they get
and
to
they're
have
just
more fun.
pissed off because they made a bogey, and you think they're an asshole, but
Yeah.
they're really, they're out there doing what they do and making money, and they're trying to win a tournament.
Well, that's
so.
what I'm saying. You get to see more of these guys' person. I mean, that video? Was it Bryson who played a round of golf with Trump?
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, that was one of the best videos out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bryson also just played his break 50 with Adam Sandler,
Saw that.
which was also pretty funny. I enjoyed that.
I did
a
not
lot.
see that.
It's a good watch. I recommend it.
Wow.
But speaking of Bryson too, we got LIV Golf this weekend here, in Bolingbrook.
Bolingbrook.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Yeah.
Going tomorrow.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
That's one of
gonna be a
the
good
last
time.
3 matches to determine the champion of LIV Golf.
Yeah. You know, I know there's been a lot of controversy with LIV and PGA, but at this point, you just have to accept it for what it is. Like,
Well, at this point, are people still differentiating between the two, or is it just like you play this weekend, you play this week, you play this course, you play that course? Do people really care anymore?
I think
They already took their
some
bag.
Of some of the diehards really do care.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Like, I just want to watch for entertainment. I don't care who
Yeah.
you're playing for.
I mean, being our resident golf expert, as you are, what's the difference?
You know, there are differences. Like
You can wear
PGA
shorts on
Yeah, you
LIV.
can wear shorts on LIV.
I'll say less.
If you know, if you guys were to go, there's music playing the entire time. It's kind of a weird feeling, but it is a party. It's really comfortable.
It's like playing golf with Matt.
how many LIV events have you been to?
I've gone to 2 so far, and they were
Okay.
fun both times. So hopefully tomorrow can top it, but we'll see.
It's gonna be hot as shit.
So
Be
that
hot as balls.
that seemed like what they were trying to spoof off in the movie. Was
Oh,
this,
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny because they mixed in PGA and LIV players
Yeah.
to make fun of a new tour.
Yeah.
Which was making kind of fun at LIV at the same time.
Right, yeah. I feel like
But,
it
you
was
know,
kind of poking fun at everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard about the whole issue with LIV Golf. I knew very little about it, so, you know, I wasn't sure what really the major difference was. So it's basically just what? It's a bit more laid back.
It's more laid back. They have a shotgun start, so everybody starts at the same time.
Oh.
It gets everybody done at pretty much the same time, a lot quicker.
Okay.
So, and they only do 3 days instead of 4.
Okay.
So it, you know, a lot of people think that first day kind of doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's no cuts too.
There's no
'cause
cuts.
I was just gonna ask,
Yeah.
is there no cuts because there's fewer players?
There's
or-
fewer players. You know that you're not having the people that are grinding, trying to get on the PGA Tour, trying to make a cut. You don't have them, you know, obviously, because you have a bunch of really big name LIV guys that are getting paid really well to go out there and do what they do, be some of the best in the world. And I think it's entertaining. It is what it is. You know, hopefully within the next few years and beyond, we see kind of an expansion on what they can do. There's a lot of team concepts to it as well, which I think is cool. Because you don't really see that besides the Ryder Cup on the PGA Tour.
Right.
So we'll see. I hope it continues. I think it's good too for the game because it's caused a lot of changes in PGA Tour as well. There's been
Really?
a lot of, you know, they've done the signature events, which has elevated the money for the guys, and I think that competition always spurs development in things.
Yeah.
If you're not
100%.
if you're not challenged by somebody, then you're going to keep doing what you're doing, and
Well, so
you're not
here's-
going to get any better.
And here's the thing. I bet you're going to have a lot of people out there who have the same attitude towards the PGA and the traditional and all that stuff that I just talked about with baseball.
Yeah.
That all
Oh,
these
yeah.
changes are going to ruin the game and all this stuff, you know, and that's totally fine, you know. But, I mean, is it really going to make that big of a difference? I mean, I don't know.
I don't
Does
think.
Let me ask you this, because, like, does the if you say you're going to play in the LIV tournament, does the PGA say, okay, then you can't play in our tournaments?
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened in the
Except
beginning.
for the majors.
Except for the majors, because they're not sanctioned by the PGA
PGA,
Tour. So
okay.
when they all announced they were leaving the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour, immediately revoked their access to their tournaments. And
Who are some of, like, the big names that went over?
I think some of the first ones was Phil Mickelson, who is obviously a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
I mean, he was one of the first believers in the whole thing.
Well, hold on though. Was he a believer, or did he have gambling debts where he needed the big paycheck?
Listen,
I don't have that answer for you,
listen.
but according to him, he's almost a billionaire. So
So he's fine. Yeah,
He's
he's
fine
a
either
negative
way,
billionaire.
you know. Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, obviously Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
John Rahm is one of the recent switches of last year.
Okay.
They gave him his own team because he was pretty high up in the rankings at
Yeah.
that point, so that was pretty cool for him. Brooks
it's-
Yeah.
Koepka, you know,
It's a
Joaquin
team thing.
Neiman.
Cam
they
Smith,
have teams,
right?
Okay.
Cam
is that a
Smith,
guy?
yeah. Cam Smith too. So yeah, they have teams. Like all those big names are the captain of the team. They're
Yeah.
kind of the owner of the team. I think the idea for them is to monetize that in some way. And not only do they have an individual winner for each tournament, and then for the end of the year they have a team winner, and that's based on like birdies, bogeys, and
Okay.
like a point system too. So
Since we're on the topic, I thought it was so cool. Have you heard about any of this, like, that Tigers Golf League, that TGL down in Florida?
hey, there's another conversation about competition.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be here without LIV.
No.
100%.
Have you seen any of it?
I've seen it. I mean,
It's
the facilities.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
It is. It's very cool, and I think that it's a good play because it not only allows us to have another thing to watch, but like it keeps the pros relevant in the off season.
Yeah.
You know, they're not obviously in the off season. We're not seeing their names. We're not watching them play every weekend. So it allows us to kind of further engage with them. It's a little bit more relaxed feeling as well.
Yeah. Well, you talk about just having fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you get to see that on their faces too. You know,
Yeah.
they're hitting onto a screen and they're kind of trying to figure out what the hell they're doing.
yeah.
And I think it was a little bit bigger than LIV last year, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look up the stats, but I think they had a couple more views than LIV on a couple of their events. So
That's sweet.
it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But like I said, competition breeds, new advancements and things, and I think this will be good for the game of golf.
Well, good. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Well, speaking of competition here, we got the Cubs Cardinals going now. Bottom of the second. I think we're at look at that. Boyd's pitching. Speak of the devil. And I think we've kind of reached.
That's why I couldn't be here tonight, actually.
Yeah. I did. We talked to him, tried to get him on. He said, you know what, I got to be in St. Louis, but he said, let me know. Let me know when you're back on the air. We'll maybe get it. So, look forward to possibly having Matthew Boyd here on the podcast someday. So, guys, that's all I've got for today. I don't know if you guys got anything else worth talking about, but again, this was just a fun project we came up with to hopefully bring in some listeners, hear what you guys think, have you hear what we think, and if you like it, great. If not, keep it to yourself because we're trying to do something here. But yeah, listen, we've had a blast. This, if anything, it's an excuse for us to get together and blow off some steam. But if anybody's out there, appreciate you listening, and we're gonna go ahead and probably watch some of this Cubs game and see if they can't pull one out. So
That's it.
That's
all
it.
we
Sign
got,
it off, Chester.
Good to know, guys. So, all right, we're going to take it out here, go watch some of the Cubs, and till next time, if you need us, we'll be in the garage.